Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing the Cancer Ascendant. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. People with Cancer rising approach their world receptively and reflectively, absorbing it directly through their emotions and being easily swayed by environmental influences. Their changing feelings leave them with a need for security and constancy around them, particularly in relationships, since they feel that it isn't there inside of them. These people absorb many influences from their surroundings and reflect them immediately, which makes their outer personalities a patchwork of pieces. They look for things and people to identify with to give themselves a more consistent personality, first in their family and especially with their mother, since their longest and most secure roots are there. Whatever the actual relationship was like, these people absorb the attitudes and demands of other people readily, feeling pressures to conform. And being the impressionable types that they are, they end up feeling guilty if they don't, which they may ultimately resent. Cancer rising people want recognition from others, and so they have learned to adapt their responses to reflect what they feel they want, while often keeping their own personality hidden inside of themselves, as though they look out from behind a one-way mirror. This is caused from an early point in their life when they felt that they had to be what their parents wanted them to be in order to keep their affection and not to disappoint them. As a result of this, they believed that their security was outside of themselves rather than inside, the opposite of what they truly needed. Cancer rising people have powerful protective instincts that will defend anything or anyone that they identify with, as well as protecting their own inner security. But as long as they feel safe in their protective shell, they will go along with others. One major shell of these people is their moods, which they use as an emotional barrier wall to keep others out and themselves in. How this works is that they feel that others will disapprove of or minimize what they want to do, so they approach their objectives in a sideways manner, so that they don't appear to be going in that direction. And yet, in pursuit of those objectives, they can be extremely tenacious, recognizing their needs and seeking to fulfill them. And if they don't succeed at first, they will return again and again until they do. Cancer rising people may replay their childhood energy dynamic in their relationships, either remaining a child themselves, wanting others to take responsibility for looking after them, or turning it around and becoming the parent themselves, taking on the obligations of nurturing their partners. Either way, their relationships may have an inferior-superior split, though they may see it as a matter of security and responsibility. When it comes to making decisions, the Cancer rising person either uses their reflective mind to look for the order and rules of the situation, organizing carefully and conservatively from there towards their goal, or they let their doubts dominate them, expecting the worst from their choices, being pessimistic about their prospects. Since the whole direction of their lives depends on their decisions, they will either climb steadily to success or will wallow in self-pity if they stick with their negative feelings. Cancer rising people are renowned for their ever-changing moods and emotions. These people are extremely sensitive and of a retiring disposition. They know what it is like to be hurt, and so they do their best to shield those they love, especially their family, from painful experiences. They are particularly concerned and interested in their mother. Although circumstances may force them to lose touch with these people, they are never really free of concern for them. They have strong memories of their childhood, whether the past was happy or unhappy. They can't help reminiscing about the past. Cancer rising people are by nature sentimental, sympathetic, and rather talkative. Their imagination is fertile and inventive, and they have a tendency to feel first and think after. It is almost as if thought is almost unnecessary for them, as their ideas merge as vivid feeling pictures, with which they can identify with great pain or pleasure. Although these people are fond of their home, they are inclined to wander and may never really manage to settle down in one place. If they do manage to set up a permanent residence, they are apt to pack up and move off again after 2 or 3 years. Cancer rising people have very good and retentive memories, especially for family and historical events. They file away feelings rather than concepts because they have such a strong emotional attachment to the past. This probably accounts for their often phenomenal power of recall. These people really like possessions and will work industriously to acquire them. Their personal needs are not great, and they can be very economical, even frugal, with money. These people enjoy traveling and visiting people in their homes, and they are especially liable to drop in on relatives. Novelty and change appeal to them in almost any form. Although these people are very careful with money, they often find that they are imposed upon by others. Their sympathetic natures makes it difficult for them to refuse another person who appeals for help or appears to be in need, and yet at the same time, they have an extremely tenacious streak which manifests itself in a variety of ways, but is particularly powerful when they adopt a protective role. Cancer rising people tend to shy away from pressure. They can give the impression of hearty self-assurance and toughness, and can cope with the best of them for a limited period. But then they really must scuttle off to some warm and secure retreat where they can quietly restore their self-confidence. These people fear criticism and ridicule and will go to great lengths to avoid either. This makes them rather conventional and very discreet. Cancer rising people regard their homes as the pivot of their lives. As sentimental as they are about their family, they would rather have an empty house than disturb it with discord and disagreement. These people aim to maintain harmony in their surroundings, and to achieve this, show tact and diplomacy to those with whom they live with. If they fail to secure the balance they crave, they will leave the house temporarily or retire to the seclusion of their room. These people spend much of their leisure time making their home a more attractive and congenial place to live. They like to feel that their family thinks and speaks well of them in their absence. Cancer rising people have a tendency to become overly possessive of their loved ones, especially their children. These people can suffer deeply through jealousy, which is often matched by an intensity of physical passion. Cancer rising people take marriage very seriously and often choose a partner who is helpless, lazy, or unable to cope. Their inherent desire to nourish and protect causes them to accept responsibilities that others would find impossible. They are frequently the long-suffering husbands and wives of the zodiac, although it is not in their character to complain. They are also ambitious for their mates to get on in the world, and they will do all in their power to encourage and to help this process. Cancer rising people are ambitious and more eager than some apparently less retiring types to get ahead. They are determined from the start to make a name for themselves, and the fact that they don't always succeed is no reflection on their efforts or tenacity. Their frequently aggressive drive helps to compensate for their lack of self-assurance and natural reserve. Cancer rising people value friendships as one of the mainstays of their lives. Their friends are a buffer between them and the realities of the outside world. As they go about their business in the world, they like to feel there are numerous other welcoming and comfortable places for them to go. Cancer rising people can be among the recluses of this life. The strength of their feelings acting on their wonderful imaginative natures provides them with an inner life that often approaches self-sufficiency. They learn a great deal from observing people and situations. These people often have periods of soul-searching introspection where their more abstract ideas clash with their sentimental natures. And while they are trying to resolve these contradictions, they can give the impression of moodiness. These people have strong psychic powers and mediumistic abilities, and intuition comes more naturally to them than thinking. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.